Hey, how you doing? Unc here from But I Love My Pet. Hey, my partner on the show often speaks about pet insurance, so I have a brain treat for you. We're gonna jump in real quick, dive, not like in the lake, but we're gonna dive into some pet insurance. What is pet insurance? First off, think about it this way. We have insurance on our car, we have insurance on our rentals, we have insurance on our homes, we have insurance on our lives. What are insurances meant for? They're meant if something happens that was unexpected, that's going to have a large cost to us, right? Think of pet insurance like a hybrid between car insurance and health insurance. Because normally when we think of health insurance, we think of something that we'd have to only provide a small copay for, and we can do a standard doctor's visit. Standard visits of your pet are usually not covered by pet insurance. That's something called a wellness plan, and the wellness plans are usually associated with one clinic or one group of clinics, whereas pet insurance is usually covered on a much larger scale through many different clinics, and you have one provider of the insurance, right? The other thing is, on a wellness plan, if you have to do vaccines or dentals, they're usually covered under a wellness plan. Those type of procedures are usually not covered by pet insurance. Pet insurance is more like when you have your car, right? And if you have a need of an oil change or a flat tire, your insurance doesn't cover that. But if your tire blows up and you run into another car, your insurance would take care of that. That's how pet insurance works, right? So even though it's a medical health related type of insurance, it's really only there for accidents or things that were unexpected. Unexpected could be diseases, it can be allergies, it can be another dog mauling your dog, or your dog simply eating something it shouldn't have, and now there needs to be an intervention to pull that out of your dog's belly, or your cat's. That's when pet insurance really takes place, or when it becomes active, right? When you're doing something with your pet insurance. Pet insurance is also paid for on a monthly basis, the same way you probably pay your car insurance. Every month you have to make a payment. And I know that sometimes it seems like it's burdensome, but you got to keep in mind that when you purchased your pet, that price that you paid was an acquisition cost between two humans. It's not the value of the pet. So the pet probably means a lot more to you than the dollars you spent for the pet. That amount that you purchased the pet for also has very little to do with what it's going to cost you to maintain that pet if something happens to him, right? $5,000 Frenchie or a dog that you got from the pound, if it needs a foreign body removed, it's probably going to cost you $3,000 either way. So keep that in mind. That's what the pet insurance is there for, so you can really focus on the quality of medicine that your pet receives instead of being focused on what it costs. Keep in mind, pet insurance, there's a lot of different providers, and it's set up in a lot of different ways. Sometimes you have a larger deductible, sometimes you have a lower deductible, sometimes it's covering 70%, sometimes it's covering 80%, sometimes it's covering 90% of the cost of treating your pet. That's all in the small print on the insurance that you're actually getting, and that's what you want to take a look at when you've decided to get pet insurance. Pet insurance is very useful, especially as the dog ages, and it's more likely to have more problems. You need to get the pet insurance early on, though, because you don't want to be in a situation where you have pre-existing conditions that limit how much coverage you actually have when your dog actually needs it later on in life, right? And you'll also notice that pet insurance changes as far as the cost is based on the age of the pet. It also changes based on the breed. And some insurance companies won't insure certain breeds. So all these are things to keep in mind. We'll call this the brain bite for today. I wanted to put it out there because Dr. Owens is always talking about pet insurance, and now you know what he's talking about. So take your treat. This is Unc. I'm out.